Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to Shores Prepping. I'm your host, Greg. Well, so as you can see, I'm putting my oxygen back on. It's just been absolutely an exasperating day. And I'm just, Anyway, more news on the Russian-Ukrainian front. It's not good. They just had a press conference, and they said that the United States could possibly send 8,500 troops to Ukraine. Now that goes against the majority of Americans. 75% say no. Do not send troops to Ukraine. No, we don't want war with Russia. But these people in the White House and the Obama administration, who are actually calling the shots, are wanting to promote war. I have no idea why. But the Secretary of State, Austin, is getting ready for ready deployment forces. Normally 10-day notice is now cut down to 5. The Nato ready deployment forces have been escalated, as well as the Air Force. Germany says, wait a minute, we are dependent or going to be dependent on Russia for our fuel because we decommissioned all our nuclear facilities for electricity. So now we're going to be dependent on Russian propane and oil, and we could be in the black, in 6 months if we go to war. So no, we're not going. We don't want to be involved in this. No, we are not going to send troops. No, we are not going to send arms to Ukraine. In the meantime, the United States is sending airplane loads of military equipment to Ukraine to build it up. Blinken keeps getting out there and saying, oh, well, we're going to slap more sanctions on Russia. What if Russia just says, F you, take Ukraine, and guess what, Biden? We're not selling you any more oil. What do you think about that? We have enough buyers for our oil. You're cut off. Oh, and by the way, Biden, we have a few $100 billion of your treasury, of your debt. We're selling it. What do you think is going to happen to your economy? So when they're saying we're gonna crush Ukraine with sanctions, they could turn right around and say, not selling you any oil, and we're selling our debt. What do you think that'll do to our economy? Since President Joe Biden canceled all the oil drilling leases and the XL pipeline, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's feasible that Russia says, oh, by the way, since you have open borders, we're going to send commandos up through the southern border to cause havoc in the United States should you decide to go to war with us in Ukraine? What do you think is going to happen? These people have no clue. No clue whatsoever other than it's Russia, Russia, Russia. They're delusional with Russia. And I feel bad for the Ukrainian people who are putting on white camo, handed a Kalashnikov, and say, come with us. You just joined the militia to defend your country. They look as scared as I would be for the first time. What? I'm going to war? I know I volunteered, but I wanted to be a medic. I didn't volunteer to be on the front lines looking at a tank across the road. I would be as scared as them. And I would be saying, wait a minute, why are we going to war like this? We don't need to be a member of Nato and have rockets 5 miles from the border of Russia. And I can understand Russia's position saying, we don't want NATO missiles 5 miles from our border. Ukraine must remain neutral, but these people have dug in their heels and said, don't you tell us what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. They are pushing, meaning us, are pushing for conflict. And we're paying for this war by buying their oil and other stuff. Just like China. We financed Chinese naval fleet because they bought so much of our debt. Our interest payments going to China has built the Chinese fleet, which is now bigger than ours. They could go to war in Taiwan and not even touch their treasury. And by the way, they sent 25 jets over Taiwan today. things are getting crazy. Things are getting stressful. I am stressed out. That's why I'm having to put on oxygen today. I need to take a break from it. I'm going to review my preps, as you should. I would definitely buy some motor oil. I would definitely buy some hurricane lamps and make sure you have fuel for the lamp. Have lamp oil, because in case somebody decides, hey, we're going and we're going to put the United States in a blackout situation through EMP missile, they're going to want light. And if everything goes dark, the banks are shut down, grocery stores are shut down, drugstores are shut down. So I would highly advise you to stock up on over-the-counter meds as much as you can, bandages. See if you have access to any savings account that you may want to look at and say, my money's not safe in the bank, because if it's shut down, I can't get to it. Not that the dollar bill will be worth much anyway, especially if, you know, the Chinese and Russians sell our debt. That would collapse our economy. That really would. That would leave India, England, Australia, a few other countries that hold a major load of our debt, and we'd say, oh no, that'll never happen. We'll just print more money. All we'd do is just be like Venezuela, have a wheelbarrow full of cash to get one, you know, bag of flour. Continue to buy food. Keep prepping. Look to the future. See what that holds. Call your congressmen, your senators, and say, no troops to Ukraine. We don't want war. We don't want any part of it. It's just a scary situation, and these goofs are out there saying, oh, well, we got the upper hand. No, we do not have the upper hand. We most certainly do not have the upper hand. And they are pushing this extreme position. For what gain, I have no idea, other than the military machine saying, we want to test our new hardware. Is a hypersonic missile as fast as they say it is? Or are rail guns so destructive that we can take out the hypersonic missiles? Let's find out. That is some bizarre thinking. But that's what's going on in Russia, Ukraine now, and it scares the bejeebies out of me. I feel bad for those people. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I appreciate your comments. I really do. Please continue to like, subscribe, ring that bell, do everything we have to do. Get yourself right with God. We're on borrowed time, folks. We are definitely on borrowed time. And get yourself baptized, submerged in water. Thank you. Greg out.